Hey everyone. Remember about a year ago when Pierre Poilievre had first become the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada and all the media coverage surrounding his first few months as the leader of the party? Remember all the media talking heads, political commentators from the legacy media who immediately started attacking Pierre Poilievre as if he was super unpopular. Oh, the Canadian public isn't going to like him. Oh, look at this poll that's showing moderate Canadians don't really like Pierre Poilievre. Oh, women don't like Pierre Poilievre. Look at all of this stuff indicating that Pierre Poilievre is going to crash and burn as much as O'Toole, even though the media loved O'Toole because O'Toole wasn't an ounce conservative. But all this anti-Poilievre coverage was going on for a very long time. And it was completely absurd from the beginning because in Canadian politics, we don't really have as strong a focus on political leaders and politicians as Americans do. So in Canada, when a new opposition leader is chosen by their party, it takes a while for them to be able to gain the name recognition and momentum for Canadians to take them seriously and actually start shifting their federal vote around depending on who the leader of the opposition is and how it changes the sort of dynamics of the political system. Obviously, it was never going to stay that Poilievre was just going to be kind of performing like a generic conservative leader was, like the polling had been showing during the leadership election, where nobody knew who the leader was going to be. Like everyone kind of knew Poilievre was going to win, but all of the polls during the leadership election and the Conservatives were kind of stagnant because it's basically generic Tory versus Justin Trudeau. As soon as Poilievre became leader, it ever so slightly started to rise, and the media during this period where technically the Liberals could still win more seats as the Conservatives, they were immediately bashing Poilievre. And now, over the past about 6 or 7 months, now that the Conservative Party has spiked in the polls, now all these media talking heads that were mocking Poilievre, mocking his style, saying that, oh, all this populist rhetoric, this isn't going to work well with moderate Canadians. Oh, he can't be leadership Poilievre. Now he has to become prime ministerial. Oh, he just doesn't understand how politics works. Oh, did you know that he's been in politics since 2004 and he doesn't know how politics work? And it was just all this crap for so long. And then when he started spiking in the polls, you saw a very, very funny shift. The Chantal Huberts of the world stopped writing articles about how Poilievre is a disaster to the Conservatives and he can't win an election. And now they've switched to just whining constantly. Oh, he's such a bore. He's mean. I can't believe he doesn't take our smear accusations against him seriously. Oh, he's like Trump. He's like whatever leader in another country. Oh, he doesn't take the media attacks at face value the way O'Toole did. Oh, this is a terrible era for politics in Canada. He's not going to let Justin Trudeau win? Oh, goodness. Like, is there anything worse than that? A conservative leader who doesn't just let the Liberals win. And this is what we've been hearing for the past 7 months, and it's come to a head just in these past few days because of just how ridiculous the media attack's now becoming. Okay, so I'm not sure if you know about, I assume you do, but in case you don't know, there was a car explosion that happened at a border crossing at the Rainbow Bridge, or I think it's the Rainbow Bridge border crossing between the United States and Canada. Everyone pretty much, as soon as it reported that there was a giant fireball at this border crossing and all the destruction that was caused by it, assumed this must be a terror attack. It didn't turn out to be a terror attack, but even the media, like CTV News, published that it's basically suspected to be a terror attack, or I think they even said it was a terror attack based on sources they had talked to. It really doesn't matter. Pierre Poilievre stood up in Parliament and said that based on media reporting, this sounds like it's a terror attack and that we need to take our national security more seriously. Now, the media excoriated him when it was found out that it wasn't actually a terror attack and was basically just an insanely bad car accident that had resulted in a vehicle explosion. And the media is acting like Poilievre was the originator of this rumor, and he wasn't the one who said it. And when Poilievre then fires back and points out that he was not the one who originated this during a press conference, where a Canadian press journalist basically says, was it responsible for you to call it a terror attack when we hadn't confirmed anything, when a Canadian, when this public safety minister hadn't confirmed if it was yet? And Poilievre's like, you guys reported this. What are you talking about? Why is it my fault for saying what you guys said? But there's no standards in the media anymore, and all the media focuses on is the fact that Poilievre holds them accountable. So they're, in very strange fashion, holding him accountable because they were not accountable, because they messed up. He's bad for having quoted them. They might as well come out and say, Poilievre, you know we suck at our jobs. Why are you even bothering to quote us? If they took that stance, maybe I'd agree with them. Maybe Poilievre shouldn't be ever referencing something from CTV News again. But still, this is how whiny the media has become. Poilievre merely pointing out the media is bad at their jobs and then holding them accountable makes him a bully. I just want to bring up some of the posts here that we've had from, and I'm even specifically using a lot of Andrew Coyne because he's supposedly supposed to be a conservative commentator on power and politics on the CBC, and I guess he's a writer somewhere else. I don't know why anyone likes him. It's just 5,000 word articles on an issue that everyone already got over 5 days ago. Andrew Coyne is always 2 weeks late to writing about anything. And it's just word salad. It's him basically sort of maneuvering in and out of any sort of principles. The man dodges any sort of principle pile on his way to getting to his non-point at the end of every single article he writes. But he was putting stuff out like this when people were posting the clips of Poilievre, besting, in my opinion, this Canada press journalist. He says, I don't know who thinks he's impressive with his campus Tory childishness, but they're probably already voting for him. What are you talking about, Andrew? Like, it's childish to say that CTV News published it and I just referenced their report. It's insane, the double standards. If Trudeau said this to a reporter, said, hey, you reported it, and I was just quoting you at the time because it seemed like the best evidence we had, everyone would be like, oh, Justin Trudeau's so mature, holding the media accountable for spreading misinformation. But if Poilievre, even saying this is a media report, and obviously everyone knows that it still has to be confirmed, if he quotes it and it was wrong, it's not the media's fault, it's his fault for some reason. And you can see this throughout all the headlines. You got all these like articles from Politico, he just can't help himself, and the Chronicle Journal, Poilievre fuels voter cynicism. Canada Conservative leader repeatedly plays fast and loose with the truth. The fast and loose with the truth, you mean he quoted you guys and you messed up and he technically had not said something that was true, even though he couched it in saying that, hey, this is a media report, which means that, yeah, it isn't fully confirmed yet, but, politicians are supposed to react to events as they're happening, not wait a month and then maybe make a comment about it. We expect our politicians to be actually on top of things. They get criticized for taking too long to respond to crises. But this keeps going on. Of course, you get the CBC basically saying like, oh, he's like attacking the media, or wherever he got called out for making wrong comments, even though, again, all of these people are the ones who made the comments. Like, literally, look, the CTV on screen, they said, Rainbow Bridge blast. Gould criticizes Poilievre's terror attack remarks. You guys made the terror attack report, and now you get to turn around and criticize him for quoting you. But going over to Andrew Coyne again, because he's quote tweeting Candace Malcolm over at True North. I'm also going to play a True North edited clip here in a second, so definitely go follow those guys. But frankly, if you're watching me, you probably already read True North, which is good. So Candace Malcolm put out this tweet saying, legacy media journos are waging an all-out war against the Conservative Party, mocking its leader, past and present, petty name-calling, partisan mudslinging, cheering on attacks, which is 100% true. The media always is so childish, so backbiting. They're always just constantly mocking and criticizing conservative leaders. It's always the coverage going towards any election over the past few races, in terms of 2021, 2019, 2015, is how is this cool, dynamic, liberal leader going to beat this stodgy, disgusting conservative? They never give the conservative the time of the day, and the only time they ever compliment a conservative is when they act like a liberal. So if you basically intentionally lose as a conservative like Aaron O'Toole, they'll throw some comments here and there, but they'll still basically say that you're far right and you're crazy and you're unelectable right before the election hits anyways, just to make sure to stick that knife in at the end. But with Andrew Coyne's response to Candace Malcolm, I don't see how she's not absolutely correct. Andrew said, when you start to believe your own propaganda, you end up sounding like a movie trailer. When a cynical political warrior like Jenny Burns deploys this industrial-grade BS, you can pretty sure she knows it's BS and knows she knows and doesn't care. What BS? This is literally in the context of Poilievre saying, hey, why are you attacking me? I cited a media report, and you guys even say you're highly credible, and you criticize independent media because they're not part of your legacy media club. But now Poilievre's bad for quoting you. Andrew Coyne is basically upset whenever a conservative wins. If you are a conservative who can win, Andrew Coyne does not like you. He loved Aaron O'Toole. I remember there was an article where he was basically comparing Poilievre to O'Toole and waxing on poetic about how O'Toole gave us these 50-page policy papers. He was so intellectual. He was boring. He had no principles. He constantly flip-flopped. But Coyne loved him because he makes Coyne feel smart, because he hand delivers these big policy papers to Coyne. He'll read my 50-page policy paper, Mr. Coyne. I'd love to hear about your thoughts on my random mixture of like incoherent policies. And Coyne loves it because it's complicated. Poilievre is not complicated. He's not pretentious. And that's why Coyne hates him, because he doesn't release 50-page policy plans. He just articulates his small government vision, talks about family values and parental rights, a couple other things. You could say, well, he's being vague. Well, the whole point is that Canadians want him to prove he believes in the principle, and Poilievre has been going around proving he believes in the principle. Who cares about the policy detail if you're not actually convincing people that you believe in the principles that you're apparently standing for? Coyne does not have any principles, so as soon as Poilievre is on the trail marketing his principles, he's completely in the jungle and doesn't know what's going on. He's pissed about it too for some reason. I don't get it. Anyways, I want to go to the CBC. I think it's Power and Politics. I don't know. It's the Rosemary Barton show. If you watch it, your IQ is going to go down. But I'll just quickly play this minute and like 15-second clip or so, just so you can just see the sort of the media getting so agitated by the fact that Poilievre knows how to best them, and they're very upset about it. As soon as you criticize a media journalist and you're correct about it, that's bullying. It's bullying if you do that. It's just trigger warning. Poilievre might bully someone because he's right.
It will be very hard to sell a leader who is turning out to be an intellectual bully, especially one who picks on people who are smaller than him, in the sense that the journalist asking a question is smaller than someone who is the leader of a major party. And I don't know what is being said outside Quebec in the other language, but I was on a panel today, and the words I used associated with Pierre Poilievre, and they are gaining currency, is that he is someone who will lie whenever it suits his purpose.
Last word to you, Andrew.
Well, it depends what kind of leader you're looking for. It used to be we looked for leaders, we wanted to look up to them. We wanted leaders, and we looked up to them because they were able to rise above these kind of petty squabbles. This is small and insecure, and it appeals to people who want a leader who they don't have to look up to, who's just as small and insecure as they are. That's not the kind, I think, that most Canadians are looking for. I think they want people who are uniters and not dividers, where people are trying to appeal to the best of us and not the worst in us.
It's so just foolish to hear Chantal Hubert going on like, well, I don't think Canadians want to vote for someone who's an intellectual bully. Chantal, you lost. You lost. You literally were writing article after article for the Toronto Star talking about how Poilievre's unpopular, is not going to win. Now that he's popular, you're just whimpering about how you think he's. Oh, I still don't think so. I can't see how Canadians want to vote for an intellectual bully. He's not an intellectual bully. He's correct. You guys are so used to just people bowing down and saying that you're correct about everything and not thinking for themselves, that as soon as a leader rejects the media's fake wisdom, that now it's bullying. And Andrew Coyne just going on about how we used to elect leaders that we would look up to. I don't look up to. And the subtext here is you think Andrew Coyne thinks you should look up to him. Nobody should look up to Andrew Coyne. If you're looking for an actual intellectual bully, it's Andrew Coyne. He is intentionally obtuse in his writing. He is intentionally just like pretentious and very obscure in his references because he's smarter than you. These people remind me of, and you can be soft-spoken and you can be an intellectual bully. These people think if you're a bit conservative, you're a bigot, you're awful, you're far right, and they will insult you all day long. But if you're correct about something, now you're bullying them. Oh, I can't believe you took us to task for being full of crap. Well, you're bullying me. But these people, you can be a soft-spoken jerk. These people are like Noam Chomsky, very, very soft-spoken man, also evil human being, if you actually know any of his positions on things. And all these people, they like, if you talk about family values, they will get deeply triggered because they hate family values. None of these people, like Andrew Coyne's version of conservatism is, don't even lower taxes, just spend the money slightly more efficiently, and that's conservatism. If you do slightly more efficient spending with the level of like taxation and bloated bureaucracy that Justin Trudeau has, that's conservatism to Andrew Coyne. It's ridiculous. He's a managerial conservative. He loves the institutions because he loves the sort of intellectual power he gets from knowing a lot about them. These people are full of it. Poilievre is besting them because he doesn't care to try and please intellectual dolts like Andrew Coyne anymore. He actually cares to please the average Canadian who wants a leader who sympathizes with them about the wreckage that Justin Trudeau has made of the country as much as they do. Anyways, that's pretty much it for me today. If you want to donate to my legal Give, Send, Go, it's in the description of this video below. I just went through my deposition where the opposing counsel questioned me in this stupid defamation case. I think I did extremely well. They had nothing on me, and the questioning really did reflect that, of just repeated questions about absolutely nothing, and trying to dig down into my answers and try and find an angle in which I'm somehow wrong, even though the case is so clear cut, it's ridiculous. So if you want to throw in $5, $10 there, it really helps me. I'm having to pay a $2,300 bill just for the questioning itself. So any dollar that you throw my way really helps me out. Also, I'm not sure if you know, I'm running for the Conservative Party nomination for Calgary Signal Hill. So if you live in the riding of Calgary Signal Hill, make sure to take out a Conservative Party membership and be able to, so you can vote for me when the nomination date comes up. You can check out my website, also linked in the description below, to sign up for the email list. And other than that, I hope everyone has a fantastic day and doesn't mind that my videos are getting a bit longer and more rambly, but hopefully you just view it like a podcast.